Welcome to the Good Life Podcast. I'm Kyle Kazee, a minister at North Mac. Today I'm joined by Steven Caruthers, one of our deacons. Hey, Steven, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing good. Just ready for some actual fall weather. By the time this drops, I think we might actually have we'll be done with the 80-degree weather, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. Especially with trunk or treat coming up, we really want some. I don't know, Halloween, it just doesn't seem right if it's like 90 degrees out when you're trying to trick or treat.
We want it to be a little warm for the outside activities, but,
Yeah, exactly.
we'll manage.
We don't want it like, what was it, like 40 mile an hour north winds or whatever that one year? That was pretty bad.
Raining and about 30 degrees.
Yeah, that one was not so fun. But, 90s is also maybe not what we want either. Well, Steven, thanks for joining me today. And with kind of trunk or treat coming up, and we'll get into that a little later, but that was part of the reason I wanted to have you on the podcast. But before we get to some of that stuff, Steven, just tell me a little bit about yourself. So how long have you been at North Mac?
Laura and I have been here for 10 years.
10 years. That's awesome. What brought you to North Mac?
We had recently moved over to the northwest side of the city back in 2015, and we knew we wanted to be in a place where the family was important.
Yeah.
More importantly, that the scriptures were important.
Yeah.
Laura grew up here, so we kind of had that as a baseline for how the church was and the type of activities that they did. But even when we came in, Ella was about 2 or 3 years old, and just the amount of activity and involvement with the kids was really what kind of garnered our attention to make us really want to stay.
And so Ella was already born. So did Emerson come?
Emerson came about a year after we got here.
Awesome. Yeah. Having both of my kids being born while we've been here, it's a blessing. Like the congregation does such a great job when there is a birth in a family and helping out and everything. It's what a blessing. So, Steven, how did you become a Christian?
I grew up in the church pretty much from the time I was an infant. I would say, I think I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Grew up going to church camp out in Searcy, Arkansas at Wildwood.
Yeah.
And we were doing a devotional that night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And it was over the subject of Jesus washing the disciples' feet.
Right.
Being at church camp, there's always that high, but there was just this conviction in the lesson itself where each of the counselors came around to the kids in their cabin and washed our feet.
Oh, wow.
As an actual representation.
Yeah.
And I remember it just kind of broke me a little bit.
Yeah.
And just really kind of convicted what I already knew I needed. I was actually baptized when I was 7.
Yeah.
But that was, you don't know much at that age.
Sure.
And so it was just really convicting to me to say, I know that I need Jesus. I know why I need him now.
Yeah.
It's easy to say it when you're little, but when you get a little older and life gets a little more real.
Right.
Or it was like literally 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And the entire group went to the pool.
Yeah.
Had some people get in the pool with us and kind of, encircled us as my dad baptized me.
Yeah.
And I think that was July 7th at 12:30 in the morning. So,
yeah. I love a good camp baptism.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing better. And just, hearing how the gospel and how the Bible comes alive when you like literally act out washing someone's feet and you kind of see what that would actually look like. And even, for us wearing tennis shoes probably most of the time, our feet might not be quite as dirty as those in sandals all the time.
Yeah.
And I could see how that could be very, very impactful.
Yeah.
So, Steven, how long have you been a deacon?
Been a deacon here for 8 years.
Awesome. So what are some of the different deacon areas, kind of past and present? I know you've been involved in some different things.
Yeah.
What are some areas and where you serve?
They started me out as co-lead and class coordinator over the 30s Pathfinders class.
Yep.
I'm still doing that today. But I was also over the 0 to 3-year-olds classes back then. More recently moved into the men to serve, picking out the men who are going to be doing the prayers and the scriptures each Sunday morning and Sunday night. Our Mighty Men program, training the kids to participate in church as they get older.
Yep.
And then been doing trunk or treat, and this is our 7th year for that.
Awesome. I want to do a follow-up question real quick on class coordinators. You and Laura do such a great job welcoming people in, and which you do a good job with the big events that you plan. And then you do a good job of, hey, here's a new family. Let's go talk to those people. Or, hey, here's a new family. You kind of have the class almost swarm them, and you invite them to your home. What's kind of the rationale? Why are you kind of really being intentional with that?
The class coordinating, it's something that Laura and I have tried to do pretty much anywhere that we were.
Yeah.
There have been times where in the past it flopped at different congregations, and some of it is the people that are part of the group.
Yeah.
Because you have to have people who are willing to be a part of something.
Yeah.
But for us, we've been in experiences at different churches where we walked in the door to the greeter station and nobody greeted us.
Right.
And that was just a devastating blow to say, I'm a visitor. I'm literally at your greeting station.
Yeah.
Before worship, people are standing around for, deer in a headlight kind of look.
Yeah.
And nobody comes to talk to you.
Right.
So it's just one of those things that nobody should feel that way when they walk into the Lord's church. It's just, you should feel welcome. You should feel safe and comfortable walking through those doors. You should feel seen.
Yeah.
And so that's always been a really big point to Laura and myself. And, it takes some time to put yourself out there for people to kind of go after them. I've literally chased people into the parking lot, but haven't been maced yet. So
yeah, that's right.
there are boundaries, but you want to make sure that people feel like I was noticed. Somebody saw that I was there today.
Yeah. And like I said, you guys do a good job, and it's about welcoming people.
Mm-hmm.
You make anyone who's kind of in that age range, we say 30s, but it's, like 30s, 40s. We're growing, we're getting older together.
Yes.
And so that age range, essentially folks with, younger kids. And then, we have some singles, and that's the beautiful thing of our class. It's not just only families with young kids. We got singles in there. We've got some folks that their kids are a little older, and it's just a great time to get together. We do things just as the guys, things just as the women, and that helps us to feel like a church family.
Yeah.
Helps us to really, and I'm kind of gushing over here because I'm in this class, and as a minister, I don't have to organize all those things.
Yeah.
You and Laura take care of it. It's great. I can just kind of sit back and enjoy and show up to stuff and not be the one that's organizing everything, which is a blessing.
Along the way, people like in the class, it's not just us.
Yeah.
It's they have ideas and they throw them out there. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't have to plan this.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, you just come up with it and we'll make it happen.
Ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So sometimes I can get on an autopilot situation, but like you said, we take those opportunities to get together.
Yeah.
We get together outside the walls of this building.
Yeah.
Like we are the church no matter where we are. But when we're not here, you really do get to learn more about people. Like they just let down that guard.
Yeah.
And they feel more relaxed and safe to talk to you about more personal things.
Yeah. So, Steven, what has been the most rewarding part about being a deacon?
I think that our trunk or treat is a very good example of that. I remember the first year we did it. It was 2018 back to school barbecue, August 24th, like a month before the event would have taken place.
Yeah.
And it was just, Cheryl Martin was sitting there across the table. She goes, we should do a trunk or treat. And everybody kind of looked at me like, yeah, we should do a trunk or treat. I was like, oh, wait a second. I'm doing a trunk or treat. But, like you said, we coordinate it, but without the involvement of the church.
Yeah.
Seeing all the members come together, because there have been comments in the past of like, how did you get these people to do X, Y, Z? Like they don't typically participate. How did you, I asked.
Yeah.
Like I just, hey, I need this. Would you be willing to come in and do a trunk?
Yeah.
I think my favorite was probably the hearse we had with the Buchanan Buchanan Funeral Home.
Yeah.
Kids don't crawl in.
Yeah.
But getting to see, because it's not only an outreach, it's an inreach as well. Like we are building our own community while building the kingdom.
Yeah.
And it's a very rewarding process. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a very rewarding work.
Yeah. Because I kind of walked with you in that first year, and we did a lot of that together.
Yeah.
And nicely, I've been able to kind of step back, and you've kind of done it all since then. And with the help of coordinators, because I think you have a kitchen coordinator, a games coordinator, like you have people helping out. And it was amazing how quickly the sign-up sheets were filled. The folks just kind of stepped up and were like, I'm going to serve, I'm going to do this. And like you're saying, that idea of in-reach, something happens when we all kind of get together and do something and with a common goal.
Yeah.
Right? We're having fun, we're making memories.
Right.
And I think sometimes we really understand, what we're doing in there, worshiping, like that obviously has a eternal good to that. So, sitting in Bible class, learning about God's word, that clearly has an eternal good. But doing fun stuff together, doing things where, we kind of loosen up, we get to know each other better as brothers and sisters in Christ. I think that's really healthy for a church family. And I think it helps us to, like you're saying, that in-reach idea of we're reaching each other, growing closer together. God, He created us as relational beings.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be a family. And trunk or treat, the idea is mostly evangelism, but there is an aspect of kind of building each other up through it. So you kind of mentioned a little bit about how it started, but maybe what's the rationale? Like, what's our goal with trunk or treat? What are we trying to accomplish?
So one of the biggest things we're trying to accomplish is showing the community around us that we're here.
Yeah.
We want them, they drive past our building 1,000 times a month.
Yeah.
And they may not take a second look. You put a little orange sign out there that says trunk or treat. Well, maybe I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
You see 800 people standing in the parking lot. You kind of want to know what's going on.
Right.
We partner with the Wiley Post School up the street. We hand out nearly 800 flyers every year to them.
Yep. And
they are our target audience, those kids. The whole point, those kids want to be here for the event. And it's a targeted effort. But at the same time, we're planting seeds in those kids' minds to say, this was a safe place for me at some point.
Yes.
30 years down the road, if they're, struggling in life and they, thinking back on their childhood, where did I feel safe? Where did I feel welcome and wanted?
Yeah.
It's just a really easy way to get people in the door to let them know that we're here. And, we advertise that, we'd like to pray for you. We're handing out Bibles, setting up different opportunities to study the scripture with people. We had a couple last year. I met a lady the other day at the voting thing in the gym.
Yeah.
And she was very interested in coming.
Yeah.
And coming to church. Said she was looking for a new church. I was like, well, you should come. We hand out information about the church. We make sure that every kid's treat bag gets a little information pamphlet. It's a little 2x2 card. And it's packed with information. You scan a QR code and all of a sudden you're on our website and you're looking at our ministries. You're looking at how do we serve the kingdom here at North MacArthur in the corner of Britain and MacArthur.
Yeah.
It's really about reaching those kids and just creating that safe place for them.
Yeah. And, I can't remember where I'd heard this, or I listened to a lot of different podcasts and things. And one of the things they were talking about was, if you think about a restaurant, a clothing brand, anything in the marketplace, it wasn't one interaction that made you go check that place out. Right? You maybe you saw it on Instagram, you saw a commercial for it, maybe some word of mouth. And that's what we're trying to do with Trunk or Treat. It's not the only way we're, evangelizing our community, but it's a way of getting our name out there. We have a community breakfast, or now it's a community lunch. We do some tutoring at Wiley Post, and we do a lot of advertising for our community lunch at Wiley Post. We have a recovery group. We're trying to hit or maybe advertise and just get our name out there to the community in a lot of different ways. And hitting them in those different ways, maybe over time, they're like, well, if I want to look for a church, maybe this is the place to go.
Right.
And then from that, we're going to try to study the Bible and do those kinds of things.
It's really kind of all about meeting people where they are.
Yeah.
Through all those different activities that you just mentioned, we're bringing them in.
Yep.
But most importantly, we're showing them the love of Jesus, and we're doing it in a kind, compassionate way.
Yeah. And we want them, when they interact with us on our grounds, that they want to feel like, I was loved today.
Right.
I felt Jesus' love today, whether that was getting some candy, whether that was playing some carnival games, whether that was getting some free hot dogs, popcorn, whatever it is. We want them to feel loved. And so one thing new we're doing is a prayer booth.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about that.
So we're designing a booth. It's got some banners, some advertisements for the church, but it's really targeting handing out the free Bibles. It's targeting scriptural study. They can sign up to do a Bible study with us, as well as, is there something we could pray for you about? Whether it's right there on the spot, or you want to, scan this little QR code and send us a message privately so that we can be praying for you all the time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very in-your-face kind of booth, because it's going to stand out compared to previous years.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting, because, we've attempted to make it as outreach as possible in the past, but I think that this will actually probably be the best year. I think last year we had 3 or 4 people sign up for a Bible study, which was excellent.
Yep.
And, it's worth all the effort for a single person.
Yeah.
We have the Oklahoma City Ghostbuster group comes out, and they support us by coming out in their fun costumes and their cars. And I remember talking to one of them for about 10 to 15 minutes before we started the event, and she said, "Hey, you're kind of late starting. Do you need to go?" And I said, "This is the event. Like this is why we're here.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about Jesus. I don't.
Yeah.
If I want to hand you candy, that's cool. But
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about Jesus.
Right.
So they can wait.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's the focus. It's sharing our faith with other people.
Yeah.
And if this silly event, because that's what it is, right? It's just fun. It's just fun. It is just a fun way to interact with the community.
Mm-hmm.
And if that opens up doors of sharing our faith with people we'd never run into normally, then it's worth it.
Absolutely.
It's worth everything we do with it. And it, like you said, it is a lot of work. And yet I feel very rewarded with that work because people are recognizing it.
Yeah.
And over time, especially with the school, I'm over there a lot, and people are starting to recognize what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the place with the trunk or treat and the free lunch.
Yeah.
Like that. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great to be known for that kind of stuff. Well, Steven, thanks for chatting with me today. Trunk or treat. I think this will drop the Monday before trunk or treat. So if anyone listening is in the Oklahoma City area and would like to come, we'd love to have you come and join us. And we just want to, like we said, just make it a welcoming, loving place for that night, handing out candy and playing some carnival games.
October 26th, come join us.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for listening. And until next week, grace and peace to you.